making cheddar cheesecake today. So we wanted to come up with a new dessert. Something interesting meets something familiar. Something different meets something familiar. So cheesecake we know, cheddar cheese we know, cheddar cheesecake is a little bit different, just like us. So as promised, here we go. I just want to show you guys our real recipe book with exact grammed out ingredients, and we're just going to go through all of these step by step. This is going to make one cheesecake. I know this is what you guys want and this is what you guys are paying for, so let's go. Okay, we have our cheesecake pan here, your standard 9-inch, just slightly bent from abuse cheesecake pan, 9-inch cheesecake pan here. Some people call it a spring form, you know, just because it has this thing that kind of comes off. We got our pan, we got our Pam. It's actually Vegeline, but it's a oil spray. And we're just going to really coat the inside of this thing because we don't want our crust to stick to it later. All right, so I'm gonna make the crust. 150 grams of Ritz crackers, 90 grams shredded sharp cheddar cheese. So this is actually the mild, the feather shred. We get Longhorn cheddar from our purveyor. We use the sharp Tillamook cheddar in the actual cheesecake. We'll get to that in just a second. Going into the Ninja. You can use any other food processor for this. We're just gonna pulse it a couple times till it has like a crumbly texture. That's what we're looking for right there. Here we go, 90 grams. Is it 120? Oh, it's 120. Yes, chef. And this is just a standard pie crust. You can do it with graham crackers and butter, you know, other kinds of crackers and butter. I just wanted to add a little cheese in there to get, you know, the full cheese experience. What you're looking for in the final texture, you want to be able to kind of make a, you know, form a piece that's kind of easily broken, but you can still form it in your hand like that, and that's perfect. We got the crust, we're just going right in here. So this is one of the more technique-based parts of this recipe. What we're going to do is start pressing it from the middle all the way out to the edges, and we have to have enough on the edges for it to go up the sides. So you got to make sure it's nice and flat in the middle and as thin as it can be, forming it up the side, pressing it into the corner with my fingertips and kind of rolling my fingers up. That looks really good. Okay, this is going in the freezer while we make the filling. Okay, we are getting our cheeses ready to go into the steam bath. What we're going to do is just put them in this nice little nifty, high density, high temperature Ziploc bag. We use this for some of our meats as well. It's a little bit easier than having a whole sous vide operation with a Hasaplan and everything. You don't need a Hasaplan for the Ziploc bags. We got our cream cheese, 340. This is the sharp Tillamook. I'll shred it up. 170. This is the shredded extra melt, also 170. I'm going to kind of form this cream cheese into more of a sheet and less of a block so it melts faster. We're just going to melt this for a couple minutes. Okay, we've just been steaming for, I don't know, maybe 5 or so minutes, but that's what's nice about these bags, you know, they don't melt. We can put them in the steam table. We can put, you know, a bag full of barbacoa in the steam table just all by itself. We've got our melted cheeses in here. We're gonna throw them in the Ninja first. So the American cheese in here is gonna help the shredded cheddar kind of melt evenly and help everything kind of get along. We talked about that in the spicy mac and cheese video, how the American cheese kind of helps everything melt together nicely. Cheeses and sugar first. We're going to cream these together. I just want to do this to kind of dissolve all the sugar, scrape down the sides. That was 300 grams of sugar, 140 grams of heavy cream, 240 grams of eggs, 5 whole eggs. One last scrape. Make sure we got everything in here. All right, I'm gonna tap this down just a little bit to get some of the air bubbles out. We don't really want air bubbles in the cheesecake. So instead of trying to tap this down and fucking up the crust, we're gonna try to tap down here as much as we can. I'm gonna pour this into here. So this is a pre-measured out batch and it's gonna come up perfectly. gonna cook this in a water bath because we want the cheesecake to cook very slowly and very evenly. What's gonna happen is the heat, the convective air and heat in the oven is gonna heat the pan and the water in it, and the water that's touching the sides of this and the cheesecake and everything kind of all at once is gonna come up to temperature very, very slowly and all together as one mass. We have to wrap the pan in plastic so it doesn't get water inside of it. What we're gonna do, a hotel wrap is what we call it. Just a complete full all the way around wrap. All right, if you're using a water bath, a lot of times people will bring up the water to temperature, so you're not bringing up all the water from cold to hot as it goes into the oven. We're just going to use the steam water that we use to steam the cheese. So it's already hot. You don't need a lot. It just needs to go like halfway up the side of the cheesecake. There we go. Into the bath. Ooh, hot. 300-degree oven until it doesn't really wiggle in the middle. We're gonna start with 2 hours. Very careful with the water pan. And we're ready to pull the cheesecake out of the oven. It's been a little over 2 hours. See how it's just barely jiggly in the middle? I'm just kind of shaking the pan, barely jiggly in the middle. I go in right where I probed it last time. 165 is what we want. That's over 177. We are good. As soon as the cheesecakes come out, I'm gonna remove them from the water bath here. And that's your beautiful cheddar cheesecake. So we're making apple butter for the cheddar cheesecake. Not a traditional apple butter. That is, I guess, just some apples cooked down in like a slow cooker, just some really like low cooked for a long time apples. We're gonna take the same idea, same kind of flavor profile, apples, cinnamon, sugar, and we're actually gonna make a butter with it. Cinnamon stick. It goes really well together. So the idea behind this entire dish, the cheddar cheesecake, it's supposed to be a kind of a play on a little snack. You get a little piece of, you're a kid, you get your crackers, mom has sliced up some apples really nicely, maybe like this. It's in your lunchbox. You get a little piece of cheddar cheese, you get some crackers, you get the sliced apples. That's what it's supposed to taste like. This is exactly almost 1 full quart of light brown sugar. A cup-ish of cider vinegar. It's really not more complicated than that, folks. Just let it cook down until they get soft. We want a light brown color on all of this. We basically want it all to be the color of the light brown sugar, maybe just a little bit darker than that. Cheddar crisps. You're always going to burn the first tray, so this is our second tray. That's where you got to be at mentally. This is always the second tray. We're going in for the cheddar crisps. Here we go. Hot oven, like 450-ish. We're just going in there for a few minutes. These apples are cooking along nicely. Probably been rolling about 10 minutes. I'm stirring them every few minutes, just making sure that they keep getting turned over and stuff. I want to cook them till they're all very, very soft and browning up. So they're starting to change color. They're a little more yellow there, a little more green there. So once they all start to get brown and soft, then we'll let it cool a little bit, puree it, chip in the butter. But meanwhile, looks like our cheddar crisps are just about done. Okay, so if we peeled these apples, we would basically have what is classically known as apple butter right here, right now. These are all very soft, completely broken down. We didn't put any fat in here. It was just the apples, a little bit of vinegar, and the brown sugar. And they have kind of released all their pectin and really just, they're all mushy now. So we're gonna fish out this cinnamon stick. It's gonna go in here. Cinnamon. Cimarron.
Cimmerian.
Cimmerillion. You know what that one is?
Is that a monkey?
That's like the textbook of Lord of the Rings. All of our shit in here, all the fucking apples and shit. So we're gonna start this. We're just gonna start chipping in the butter little by little. Monte Albert. Mount it. Mount it with butter. We're going in with 1 pound, by the way. Exactly 1 pound of butter. If it fits. If we get to ½ pound and it looks good, then we might stop there. This is our apple butter. Till this firms up, it's going to be nice and smooth and kind of spreadable. And we're going to scoop it when it gets cold right on top of the cheesecake. These crisps came out. 2 of them completely disappeared. I don't know where they went. I don't know who ate them. I don't know what their name is. It definitely wasn't me, but yeah, they look great. So what we're looking for on the finished cheddar crisp is going to be completely brown, not really any orange in the middle like that. That is going to be good. This one might be just a little bit soft in the middle. This one's perfect. This one is just a touch overdone. This one is overdone, but it'll still be okay. I think these 2 are probably the most perfect looking ones, other than you, Bradley.
Stop.